Hey, hey. I swear to God, you know what? I think you lot think I'm totally joyless. Look at me. No blacks, no dogs, no Irish. Listen, I've been holding it down for the last couple of days until I can make this video. So I could wear this fucking shirt. So I could wear this shirt. Yeah. Um, we're back. Brexit fucking blighty. Brexit Britain. Shit Britain is back. We're back in the 1970s. We are all the way here. No blacks, no dogs, no Irish. That's the shit they used to graffiti on the doors of black people who had come over from Jamaica and from the Caribbean in the 1970s. Those are the rough times. I remember the fucking rough times. I was old enough to remember 1979. I know what it was like. Yeah? I remember marching in the 80s. I remember being on the demonstrations when Asian taxi drivers were getting stabbed to death by the National Front. I remember all of that. And I can say we are back. And there's a reason, yeah, in Windrush, England, Windrush, Britain. Yeah. There's a reason why I wear this thing. Let's get into the detail. No blacks graffiti on 10-year-old Salford home condemned. Boy left traumatized after racist message daubed on front door days after moving in. No blacks. No blacks. Politicians, police, and members of the public have condemned horrific racist graffiti targeting the home of a 10-year-old boy and his father days after they moved in. Jackson Yamba, 38, said his son was left traumatized and afraid to leave the property after the words "no blacks, no blacks" were sprayed on their door earlier this month. The slogan also appeared on communal doors in the small block of flats in Salford, Greater Manchester, 5 days after they moved in on the 3rd of February. Let me keep reading. I'm going to keep reading. Yamba, a former barrister from the Democratic Republic of Congo, said, "I would expect this to be in the 70s or in the 50s, but nowadays, I don't think this should be accepted in the 21st century multicultural society." Yamba said his son David burst into tears when they discovered the abhorrent graffiti on their way to the boys' school on the 8th of February. He immediately reported the vandalism to Greater Manchester Police, but said they'd not received a call or visit more than a week later, which led him to tweet about the incident on Saturday night. His post was shared thousands of times, prompting an outpouring of support from politicians, celebrities, and fellow Salfordians. Salford. Speaking to The Guardian on Sunday, Yamba said, "As we opened the door, we saw the graffiti on the door. No blacks, no blacks. My son started crying. He's been totally traumatized. I couldn't believe what I witnessed." Yamba, who said he was the only black person in their block of 8 flats, said he had been appalled at the lack of response from the police and that his frustration prompted him to speak publicly. Ian Hopkins, the chief constable of GMP, admitted the forced response was frankly just not good enough, as a hate crime investigation was launched on Sunday. Yamba, a senior paralegal at a law firm, said he had lived in Britain for 13 years and never experienced such racism. The trainee solicitor said he did not know whether Brexit was to blame for a rise in hate crimes, but that it had opened a Pandora's box with the debate centred on immigration. He said he was still considering moving away from the area for the sake of his son. He used to go to school alone, he said, but since that day he can't even go through the corridor by himself He's traumatized by the incident, he said. Everywhere I go now, he has to be with me. He can't even stay 5 minutes on his own because he's scared. In his mind, he thinks whoever has done it can come to harm us. And that's a reasonable fear, isn't it? I was worried that they were waiting for us outside to see our reaction. We went outside and called the police. We started walking down the stairs and we saw more no blacks, no blacks. And I was scared because I thought, the person who's done this knows where we live. I kept holding on to my dad. So that's what the kid said. That's what the traumatized child said. When I first saw it, I wish we could move because that's never happened to me before. I thought the police would come and I wish they would come and catch the person who did it. The incident triggered an outpouring of condemnation on social media, with some Salford residents offering to paint over the graffiti or buy the family a new front door. Yamba said his neighbours had also been in touch to offer their solidarity, while the pair had been invited as special guests to the Salford Red Devils rugby club. I'm grateful and humble, said Yamba, as his son played video games in his bedroom. It has made me feel more confidence in the sense that I am not out here alone and people will stand with you. Andy Burnham, the mayor of Greater Manchester, said he was disappointed in the police's response to the truly sickening act and that the chief constable was right to scrutinise the slow response. He added, while this was a truly atrocious and depressing act, the immediate and widespread condemnation from across the community was heartening and reveals the true character of the people of Salford and Greater Manchester. Rebecca Long Bailey, the Labour MP for Salford and Eccles, said, I am shocked and appalled by this vindictive racist act, leaving Mr. Yamba and his family living in fear. It's sadly not reflective of Salford, says Rebecca Long Bailey. It's sadly not reflective of Salford, and the outpouring of support to Mr. Yamba and his family on Twitter demonstrates that Salford and many other places do not tolerate racism. Okay, that's weird. Such racism has no place in our city, and it is right that we act swiftly to stamp it out. What can I say? Colour me surprised. Colour me surprised. Shit. This is the price we pay. This is the price you know what? Yeah, this is England. This is England. Windrush should have sparked riots. We should have kicked off when they started abusing our elders, and we didn't. We didn't kick off. We were very reasonable. We were very humble. But they're coming for you. When you don't fight back, they come for you. This is it, isn't it? It's true.